Hi everyone, we are here to present our new product development project of the course Product Innovation Management, and our client is Who Gives a Cluck. And my team is of eight people, and me and Megha are presenting for our team. The content for the presentation is as follows. To start with the introduction about the client and the industry, about two-thirds of egg-laying hens are kept in cages in Australia. Who Gives a Cluck wants to educate people about the significance of rehoming, rescuing, and fostering the hens from the egg-laying industry. The main target market of Who Gives a Cluck are families who may or may not have pets. And the campaign which we are presenting will be based around the social media to build more awareness about the product and the brand.
So I'm going to be doing the situation analysis. We did our situation analysis on both internal and external factors. So starting with internal factors, some of the strengths that we have identified are that Who Gives a Cluck has extremely low operating costs due to them not having to, due to minimal wages and not having to pay rent from any storage space. And the second strength is having a complete and trustable knowledge on how to rescue and rehome hens. Some of the weaknesses, however, are insufficient exposure and low brand awareness, as we've seen on their social media, and not being skilled enough in being able to rectify the situation by promoting the business and merchandise. Some of the external factors that we have identified in opportunities is due to the epidemic that we are all currently facing. A lot more people are spending time at home and on social media. So this would be an ideal time to market Who Gives a Cluck as an opportunity to attract more attention. And the second factor is, as a new type of nonprofit organization, they have little to no competitors of the same type. Some of the threats, however, as we've mentioned before, as we are in an epidemic, many people's incomes have dropped. And due to this, consumer confidence is hit, and the chances of people investing in a new product from a not well-known company is extremely less, as well as the existence of various public welfare organizations has led to fierce market competition in the non-for-profit market in general.
So talking about the product concepts which we had chosen for Who Gives a Cluck are children's ebook, decorative lamp, and the kitchen apparel, which includes apron and gloves. So for the children's ebook, the primary audience is mainly the women who are in the age of between 30 to 50, as we expect these women to have kids who will be a bonus to our product. And the second point is this product will illustrate the brand story and will convey the brand message more clearly about what Who Gives a Cluck is doing and what are their values. The second product, decorative lamp, has no particular target segment and is not gender oriented, and will be also made up of eco-friendly material which will be sustainable for the environment. The third product, kitchen apparel, is also not gender focused and will enhance the recall in the minds of consumers by having the chicken prints on the cloth. And the last point about the kitchen apparel is it will pay more emphasis on the brand elements of Who Gives a Cluck. So the objective for the product which we'll choose would be it should be manufactured and distributed within 6 months of time frame. The short-term goal should be to drive revenue and invest on the well-being of the hens. And the long-term goal would be to build up on brand awareness and educate people about the values and ethics of what Who Gives a Cluck is doing. So the technical accomplishment score was on an average of 14.2 of all the products, and of marketing accomplishment, the score was around 9 on an average of all the products.
So I'm going to take you through the development process in brief. We conducted a survey with a sample size of about 50 participants. Most of these participants were from Julie's own co-workers and colleagues. And through the survey, we have identified that the most eligible product, or the one that was most popular, was the decorative lamp, with almost 30% of respondents choosing this product. In that, most of the respondents decided that they would only pay around 15 to 25 AU received for the decorative lamp, which we have considered as a bit low for this type of production. Another key statistic that we took from this was that most respondents would purchase the products on either the charity's official website, other social media apps, or in store in the mall. Some of the other development processes that we went through while considering the survey respondents were also through primary and secondary research on the market itself for this type of merchandise, realizing that lamp would not have a very big market share or market size.
After reaching the decision for which product was chosen, we established a marketing plan and subsequent campaign to allow for maximum online and offline reach. To summarize, the decorative lamp, as stated earlier, will be made entirely of ethically sourced and sustainable materials, as will be the packaging for it. For pricing, we have determined that manufacturing would be higher due to materials, so a cost plus pricing strategy would be used in order to secure a profit margin. We suggest regular Google Ads and SEO optimization, as well as incursions at primary school and vacation centers to promote holistic marketing. We recommend selling the product on official charity website, as well as in places with high tourist and local traffic, such as zoos and pet shops. Finally, we recommend hiring student volunteers to handle social media and sales promotion during the initial stages of the campaign in order to maintain costs overall.
So for the financial analysis, we had taken a market size of around 5,000 people, and the innovation rate is around 0.05%. And comparatively, the imitation rate is more than the innovation rate, as most of the responses were from Julie's clients, and sales projected per year is around 200 to 300 units. And we can see that the sales is declining over the period of time.
In conclusion, we'd like to ponder a few critical findings. To start would be determining that a lamp may still not be entirely sustainable due to its use of pure electricity, thus breaching certain ethical considerations for who gives a cluck. Another would be considering that ethical and sustainable materials are more expensive to source and as such manufacture on a large scale. So, would Who Gives a Cluck current operating profit be able to handle a supposed large influx of product orders for the initial 5 years as we have established? However, we believe that Who Gives a Cluck is on the path to becoming a well-funded organization, and we as a team hope that our plan can take them one step closer to their goals. Thank you.